Today I've got a fun 11 by 14 inch canvas for you. Along with acrylic paints, I'll be using burlap, yarn, and modeling paste. If you're interested in my digital download files, you can click on the PayHip link below. So let's get started. I begin by brushing on a bunch of white glue and then applying my burlap. Removing the overhang with my X-Acto knife, putting out some green, some nutmeg, and some khaki, and then just going to use my fingers to apply some color here and there. And then I'll use my baby white to blend it just a little bit. I got going and then realized I'm only going to see the edges of this canvas anyway, so that's really where I need to concentrate. I've got my preferred modeling paste, which is this Alex Fast Dry that I buy at Walmart. Good for 50 years on the outside of your home. I really like this stuff. And I'm using my stencil. And I want to put a good bit of modeling paste through here. I really want it to be raised up high. Not too worried about the texture. I want it to be kind of smooth but kind of rough. My edges are pretty high, so I'm just going around with my finger to knock those down just a little bit. Once my modeling paste is dry, I'll go in with my scissors and clean up a little bit more. And then I'll slap on a little bit of off-white with my medium round brush. Not worried about going over the edges because all this is going to be covered up. A little guide for where my head is going to go here between the ears, and then around the face and down. And then when I get it like I want it, I'll go and fill it all in. I originally made this as a kit I was selling on Etsy, so that's why you see me talking to the camera quite a bit with my hands. Now for a dauber, I'm using a clothespin and a piece of bath sponge cut into a sliver with about a ½ inch sticking out on the bottom. Nice ounceability there. Dabbing on a mix of color here and there. Now I'm switching over to my regular dauber, which is just a clothespin and a makeup sponge, lining up my stencil. And now I'm going to start detailing my face. I'm adding some barn red into the middle of the ears. I cut off the dark gray my dauber and then move it down, and now I'm ready to go in again with my khaki. Gonna make that finish off kind of the shadow of the nose there, putting a little bit of off-white with the khaki. Using my long liner brush to add some detail. My canvas is dry and now it's time to start gluing on my yarn. I've got my Beacon quick dry glue and I'm going to start by doing the hair right above the forehead, or right on the forehead. I'll wrap it around the end of my brush a couple of times, then I'll lay my little roll down use my pokey tool or my awl, AWL, and then I'll pull out my brush after a couple of seconds. And then I'll continue on in this fashion until I've got a couple of rows. Now it's going to start going a little bit faster. I'm going to put some glue down, get my yarn to grab, and then I'm going to zigzag it around and cut it later. Now I'm going to cut my yarn into pieces about 4 inches long, and then I'm going to separate the yarn so that I've got thinner pieces to work with. I'll fold those in half and then apply them with the glue in the center. And I'll just work my way around and cut them to length later. This technique is super forgiving, and if I feel like after I've done an area, if I have some spots that are kind of bare, I can just come in and add some more when I need to. When I get to his chin, I'm not going to go right up against where the modeling paste is. I'm going to go down below that shadow so that I do have a shadow there too. So that it looks more like his neck. I am not super excited on how all the yarn below the chin turned out. So while I contemplate how I'm going to fix this fiasco, I am going to move up to his forehead, cut all my loops, and then using my fingers and my awl, I will fluff up his forehead hair. I decided the best way to proceed was to tear out all of the hair at the chin level, as you can see, and go in again with a little bit longer cord yarn. With this first layer, I'm going to add some glue here and there to hold everything down. But then the second layer, I'm only going to glue the initial part where I put it down. Does that make sense? So it looks more natural, I think, instead of having it all glued down all over. Anyways, you see what you think. Not freaking out if I cut one too short or too long. I can always cut it off if I cut it too long. If I cut it too short, I'll put another one next to it, and I'll just keep going till I feel like it's all filled out properly. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of off-white and my finger to tap around that nose area just to calm it down just a little bit. Once my paint is dry, I'm going to fluff out a little bit of yarn, put some glue around that nose area, and stick that fuzz down there just to add a little bit of grooviness to his face, to really finish it off. Hey, thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, it would be awesome if you would like it and subscribe to my channel. I hope you'll join me next time.